The Trump administration sued Los Angeles today. The Justice Department writing, "The city of Los Angeles sanctuary city laws are illegal. Those laws and policies are designed to, and in fact, do interfere with and discriminate against the federal government's enforcement of federal immigration law in violation of the Supremacy Clause of the United States Constitution." The challenged law and policies of the city of Los Angeles obstruct the federal government's enforcement of federal immigration law and impede consultation and communication between federal, state, and local law enforcement officials. So what's really interesting about this, and then they mentioned where Bass previously had said that, Trump had broken his own pledge because he said he was going to go after, the worst of the worst and these violent criminals, but then he's over here raiding Home Depot. I don't think... So I guess in a court of law, right, they're going to argue, oh, you're whatever, the city's violating our law. But if you go into an area that is not having what they call a crisis of illegal immigrants who are, committing these violent acts and, again, doing the things that would typically call for National Guard to get deployed, wouldn't the legal basis be that you used force that was unjust for a situation that didn't call for it? So it's one of those things where I don't, I know the Supreme Court has given Trump a lot of leeway. They've just sort of been bootlicking for him and letting him do most of what he wants. But if it goes down to lower courts, I think there's actually a good chance of it getting dropped. But man, it's really wild to see the government at the throat of a city, just how much conflict they have with each other over these different laws. And I wasn't even thinking that much about, Bass's response to it was the first time I've thought of just how, they go into a city and, provoke these tensions with the people that live there, and then they conflate the people who are protesting with looters and rioters. Man, I'm telling you, Los Angeles, not even 2 weeks ago, looked like it was at the center of some uprising. It didn't even seem like America, because it's just such a violent, consistent streak of division where it's just poured out in the streets. You can't even drive or anything, just total chaos. And that's not caused by, the mayor of LA and the various city officials. They do stupid stuff all the time, like with all these lovely, street cleaning signs that are, I mentioned before, ways for the city to try and get some money out of people who are not going to move their car, who figure to move their car on a certain time of day or on a certain day. But in spite of that, the violence and the mischief is typically not seen in LA. And was exacerbated by the federal government going into that area, I guess underestimating the amount of pushback it would get from civilians, and then trying to make the people who were protesting seem like they were part of some, evil regime that's trying to prevent the law from being served. It's wild, man. So I think their lawsuit is not going to go anywhere. And really, what aim are they going to get? I mean, the federal government has more money than the city of Los Angeles. So if they're trying to get money for this, it's not going to work. They're not going to put Newsom in jail, I guess you're suing the city, and I guess Bass. But it's also pointless, man. It's just showboating. Like I said, if they wanted actual immigration reform, they would work with the 2 senators of California, along with all the other Democrats, to actually get something passed. But they don't want to do that. They want to be able to run on the horrors and terrors of the illegal immigrants for the next 10, 20, 30 years.